Regional communities and businesses from Queensland to Victoria have been left reeling after the Albanese government axed funding for the $45 billion Inland Rail project. The 1,600-kilometre freight corridor from Melbourne to Brisbane would have been the biggest rail project undertaken by the federal government in a century. But yesterday the government revealed the project would proceed no further north than Parkes in NSW. John Dornbush, the chairman of Interlink SQ, a proposed intermodal terminal just outside Toowoomba that would have linked inland rail to various other transport options, said the decision was a disaster. There's a lesson in that for all businesses out there. Do not believe the announcements politicians will tell you about up and coming projects. They will find ways to prevaricate, procrastinate, and eventually extinguish projects, and you will have spent your money unwisely. He said he would need time to look at the full implications. We've been working for 25 years under the belief, he said, inland rail would have resulted in a large freight terminal, dubbed an inland port, built at Ebenezer, just outside of Ipswich. The Ipswich City Council forecast subsequent industrial development of the area would have resulted in the creation of 3,500 full-time jobs by 2041, and extra economic output worth more than $1 billion. But Shayne Neumann, the Labour member for the federal seat of Blair, which takes in Ipswich, told ABC Radio Brisbane that farmers and small business residents in the Lockyer Valley, Toowoomba, and rural parts of Ipswich would be very pleased about the decision to cut inland rail. He said he did not think they wanted 1.8 kilometers long rail freight trains going every hour on embankments without noise abatement. Federal Minister for Infrastructure, Transport, Regional Development and Local Government Catherine King said the Labour government had inherited inland rail as an underfunded and underplanned project that would cost 3 times what it was originally touted to be. She said to date it had been funded off equity, so off budget, and that bringing it forward would impact the budget directly. She added that the government would have to wind back a range of other projects or find money from other areas in order to fund it. Federal Deputy Opposition Leader Shayne Neumann said inland rail was a productivity-enhancing investment that should not have been scrapped. She said if the government were serious about productivity, they would continue with the inland rail project because it is so important and vital for the agricultural sector in particular. One Nation MP Barnaby Joyce was also critical of the decision. He said the country is in the middle of an oil crisis, and one of the biggest threats is trucks running on diesel, and that freight rail is the alternative that mitigates the problem, questioning why the government would scrap it. The ABC asked Inland Rail and Catherine King how many jobs would be impacted by the decision, but neither provided an answer.